Nate, and I'm your host today on Living with Sam, the podcast. Now today we're going to be talking about the WNBA. I don't know if you knew, but the WNBA was also in a bubble, and they were down in Bradenton, Florida at IMG Academy. Now they had the option to stay there at a hotel alone. They could live with roommates in a villa, or they could stay at the lounge at IMG Academy. This also included teams like the Atlanta Dream, the Chicago Sky, Los Angeles Sparks, the Minnesota Lynx, the New York Liberty, and also the Seattle Storm and many other teams. Now, we also are going to be talking about the Seattle Storm today, and our main person today we're going to be talking about is Breanna Stewart. Now, if you didn't know, they also call the WNBA when they're in the bubble, the Wubble. I thought that was pretty funny, but all right, let's get to it. Welcome back to Living with Sam. Today we're talking about the WNBA, like I said before, but we're going to be diving into depth a little bit about the WNBA and how they're in a bubble down in Bradenton, Florida. Now, while other leagues like the NBA chose places like Disney World, Disneyland, the WNBA actually chose IMG Academy down in Bradenton, Florida. Now, IMG Academy is a boarding school, high school, that mainly focuses on sports. When the WNBA first got there were a lot of mixed reactions, a lot of mixed emotions. First, because things like the food accommodations and lounging was not as great. And the WNBA players actually went on to social media and complained about this, and it did not look good for the league at first. Now, the players did have three choices. The players could either choose to live in a hotel alone, they could either choose to live with some roommates, some teammates in a villa, or they can live in a lounge at IMG Academy. Now, ESPN's Kayla Johnson was housed at the lounge at IMG Academy. Kayla Johnson said there was unappetizing food when she got there. There was bug traps between the mattresses. There was rodent traps that were found in the laundry room. And she also found a worm on the floor in one of the rooms that she recorded and posted actually on Twitter. Now, the Washington Mystics guard, Lilani Mitchell, who decided to live alone, had meals as the main issue for her because she was vegetarian. Now, when she had her meals delivered to her, there was no fruit or veggies really in her meals. And she complained about this on social media as well. And groceries were delivered to her, but there was no fruit then. Players have diets that they must attend to. They have calories they need to consume for them to meet these requirements and to work out and train, or they might pass out, they might have an injury. And like for myself, because I play baseball here at EWC, I also have to consume 3,000 to 4,000 calories a day when I'm working out, training, or practicing, because it's an easy way to just pass out, and we don't want that. But the WNBA actually released a statement. They said, and I quote, "We have been working closely with IMG Academy and the Players Association to address issues players have expressed about one of the housing locations on campus." They were referring to the the lounge at IMG Academy that found rodent traps and bed bugs. But they brought in an exterminator and they got that all cleared up. But IMG Academy and the WNBA also allowed the players to switch based on their second option or third option, whatever they wanted, to either go to live alone somewhere or choose a villa with roommates or whatnot. Now, the Mystics coach and GM, they both said that the food would continue, that actually it wouldn't continue to be that way once regular training began. Now, it is also a challenge to feed that many people. I mean, they were feeding 200 to 300 people. That's including the coaches and all the trainers and stuff. So that is a lot of people. Now, the Mystics forward, Emma Meeson, said, and I quote, "You can expect everything to be right for everybody." Now, the primary focus that the bubble was mainly focused on was to keep the players safe. The reason they went down to the IMG Academy in Bradenton was to be safe. The reason that NBA went to Disneyland was to be safe. Now, the WNBA did a great job at that also because they gave the players tests every day. They gave them thermometers so they can check them every day. And they also, once they scan their temperature every day, it also went to a certain app so the trainers can view what their temperatures were every day. Now, for the first several days, they said it was very uneventful for the players. They were on TikTok, on Twitter most of the time, and tweeting out what was going on or what was wrong or what they were doing. But over time, it got better for them. Now, we're going to move on to the next subject, and I'll see you again. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't notice you there. I was taking a few practice swings, so I got a game with Tiger next week. But on the other hand, I want to talk to you today about my podcast, Living with Sam. I am your host, Samuel Wesley. On the podcast, I love to keep it real. I want to keep it entertaining. And also, I want to bring you the most and important information sports has for us today. So, I'd love to see you next time on Living with Sam, and I'll see you then. Welcome back to Living with Sam. I'm your host, Samuel Wesley. Right now we're going to touch on the subject of the Seattle Storm and Breanna Stewart, the player, and what they went through to get to the championship this year. Now, all teams played a total of 22 games this regular season, and the Seattle Storm only lost 4 of those regular season games, leaving them at a record of 18-4. Now, proceeding into the playoffs, they played the Lynx in Game 1, and they swept the Lynx. Now, moving on to the finals, they played the Aces, and they actually swept the Aces in the finals, and they won their 4th championship. So congratulations to the Seattle Storm for winning their 4th championship. Now moving on, Mr. Dan Hughes, their head coach, actually developed a cancerous tumor before they moved into the bubble, and his doctors in the league actually came together and they said it wouldn't be safe for him to come to the bubble knowing that he could possibly contract the coronavirus. With him in his older age, it's possibly deadly for him, so they said it was better for him to stay at home. Now, assistant coach Gary Kloppenberg was designated to be the head coach at the time, and he led them to the championship, so congratulations to him. Now, the Seattle Storm has won 2 of the last 3 championships, with Breanna Stewart leading the way in each of them. She was named the MVP in each of the championships, actually. Breanna Stewart played college ball at UConn, and she was drafted first pick of 2016. Now, she's been a very good help to the organization in helping progress this team, the Seattle Storm. She has been named she's a 2-time All-Star in the past 4 years she's been there, and she's also been a 2-time Finals MVP. So congratulations to her. She's also been averaging in her career in the WNBA 20 points per game, 9 rebounds per game, and also 3 assists per game in her career so far. And she's just getting better and better every year. So we're expecting great things from her. Now, this also makes this Seattle's 4th championship running, and this is they won the first championship in 2004, the next one in 2010, then 2018, then 2020. Guard Sami Whitcomb could actually not be with them for the championship. She was there at first, but she had to leave to go back home to Australia. Her wife was having a baby, her firstborn, so of course she wanted to be there with her. And I'm happy she had a safe delivery in her first child. Now, when Seattle first arrived to the bubble, they were actually very pleased, unlike some of the other teams. Most of them chose to live in a villa with their roommates, so of course they were having fun, posting on TikTok and Twitter about what was going on, but they mostly didn't have any complaints at all, and it shows why they won the championship to me. All right, that's all we have for this segment. I'll see you again. Welcome back with Sam. This is Living with Sam, the podcast. Right now I'm going to give my opinion on how the WNBA actually did with the bubble this year. When they moved down to Bradenton, Florida at IMG Academy, I believe that was a great move by them, by isolating, not going anywhere like the NBA chose to do, like Disneyland. Even though they did a great job too, I believe choosing IMG sports facilitation was a great idea for the WNBA. Now, they did great on the safety side as well. When the players got there, they were tested every day until the season had started, and they were tested every other day. They were also given masks and gloves, and they were also given hand sanitizer, food service, delivery service, and they were just meeting every need that all the players really had, and I believe they did a great job at doing that. Now, the WNBA also had no known coronavirus positive tests. With that, I believe they should probably run the world, you know? They've been doing really good with the coronavirus for the season, making sure their players stay safe. I believe they're doing a great job with that. So congratulations to them for that. Also, they create a safe environment for a contact sport. You know, we receive the coronavirus through touching or breathing in, and with them controlling the coronavirus, making sure everyone stays in the bubble, all the players are staying in, no outsiders are getting in. I believe they did a great job with that, and they let the players do their thing as they were staying safe, and they watched over them. So I think the WNBA did an incredible job with the bubble this year. With the bubble this year, and that's all we have for today, guys. So thank you for tuning in to Sam's podcast. I am your host, and this is Living with Sam.